That is the types of teaching and learning. And activities of the learners, in some method, learner will be involved in conversation. Learner will be involved in conversation between teacher and also among the classmates. Okay, so these are the types of learning and teaching activities. So this would be varied from method to method. And also we can go another part, that is the learners. You can say, sir, we know what is our role. It needs to. We have to understand the class, and then we have to write something, and then the first semester, the final examination or midterm examination, and we have to sit for the presentation, and we have to write an assignment. You know, but in case of method, learner's role is much more extensive and it's very important. And while we are teaching that, if you can understand that, then we can make the language learning the applied language learning. Okay. So after getting this, you will be aware about your role. And if you know that role, you will try to learn or practice that role 30%, 50%, 80%. If 30% you practice, then you can be a good learner. And next time, you can be a good teacher. Okay. So that is the learner's role. The design of an instructional system will be influenced by how learners are regarded. Okay. Teaching physical, total physical response. Isn't it? So I say that it is total physical response. You will not be speaking anything. What I will do, I will tell, you will do. Okay. But if you remain close in your sitting, putting your hand tight in front of you, then it will not be the successful method. So the successful or success of a method will be depending how the learner will be expecting or regarding that activities or learning activities. And that is, and generally a method reflects explicit or implicit responses to the question concerning the learner's contribution to the learning process. Learner's contribution to the learning process. What is the contribution? It is not the subscription, chadana. How you can adhere to the learning activities. আপনি কিভাবে এই লার্নিং প্রসেসের অংশ হবেন? আপনাকে বলা হলো যে আপনি কি করবেন? প্রতিদিন আয়নার সামনে দাঁড়িয়ে 10 মিনিট করে হচ্ছে আপনি বক্তৃতা দেবেন। কি বিষয়ে বক্তৃতা দিবেন? আপনার যেটা ভালো লাগে। Okay. That is the learner contribution. Okay, so you have to, learners have to contribute to make the method successful. This is seen in a type of activities learners carry out. Okay, and the degree of control learners have over the content of learning. The degree of control means, okay, you are sitting over there, but at the time your mind is somewhere else. So how can you control your concentration or attention? Okay, control of the mind and also content of learning and the patterns of learners grouping adopted, and the degree of which learner influence the learners from others. So control of mind, pattern of the learners patterns of the learner groupings. Okay, in case of group learning, some learner will remain silent. So if I ask you to make a group within the 5 students, okay, some will say, sir, I will go in that group. What does it mean? That means you feel free to make the group with that person. But I say no. What is loaded cannot be bloated. আমি যেভাবে গ্রুপ করে দিয়েছি, and গ্রুপের মধ্যে কি করে? Many students remain silent. They do not participate in case of group discussion. And other will say, sir, সমস্ত কাজ আমি করেছি স্যার, আমার গ্রুপের মেম্বাররা কেউ আমাকে সাহায্য করে। But in that case, he wants to dominate the group. So learner's activity, how you will be acting to your groupings, the degree to which the learner influence the learning of the others, and also learner parts, you will be learn from your friend, and you will also be teaching to your friend. That is the learner part. And how the view of the learners as the processor.
This laptop will have a processor, isn't it? Processor, that means you will process the method. হাসবেন কিন্তু যেন আমি শব্দ না শুনতে পারি এবং দাঁত না দেখতে পারি। হাসা allowed. Okay, so how the learner as the processor. So learner, they will be the processor, they will process the method, they will be the performer, that means they perform the target language, they will be the initiator. Initiator means start, sparkle. There is a match and there is matchbox, it's ready, but someone has to start the match. Okay, if you put it there, it will not give you light. Okay, so initiator and the problem solver. Okay, so learner's role, the problem solver, processor, so many examples are there. In audiolingualism, learner's role are limited. Example, learners will be repeating some things. They will be hearing from the teacher and they will be repeating in case of audiolingualism. Because in audiolingualism, learners are seen as a stimulus response mechanism. Okay, just the machine. Okay, machine, you will be putting some well on the machine and you will start the machine and the machine will go on. Okay, so in case of audiolingualism, we should see that some stimulus will be there. Stimulus, what is the stimulus? That means you are given that if you can communicate in this language within 10 days, আপনি 10 দিনের জন্য যদি হচ্ছে আপনি এই ভাষাটা শিখতে পারেন তাহলে আপনাকে আমেরিকার ভিসা দেওয়া যাবে। একটা স্টিমুলাস, just for an example. So after getting the stimulus, you will try to repeat. You will be repeating that thing. And in such a way, in the 10 days, you will not eat, you will not sleep properly, you will not sleep properly. Because what is the stimulus? The stimulus that you are trying to get. If you say that you could get 3.5 in this course, you will be getting a good job over here. And after that, you have got a stimulus, you have got an inspiration, and then you will start working. So start after getting stimulus response mechanism. In audiolingualism, that is the mechanism. So after getting stimulus, the learner will be reacting and will be working according to their inspiration, and that is learners. And learning is a direct result of a repetitive practice. Result of a repetitive practice. আমরা বলেছিলাম audiolingualism কার থেকে এসেছে? Behaviorism. Yeah, after from behaviorism we have got a method, and in audiolingualism. In audiolingualism, what is the learner method? Learner's role. Learners will be compared as a machine. Just like machine will be going on, in the same way, learner will be repeating and get the behavior, and they will try to produce that language. In audiolingualism. So that is the learner's role. Newer methods are more concerned about the learner's role and for various among learners. Okay, so that is for audiolingualism, but we have got so many methods in our hand nowadays, and they think that learner's role are much more. They are not simply processor, initiator, or others, or problem solvers. They will be much more. What are they? In this regard, Johnson and Paulstone spell out the learner's role as the following item. Number A. Learners plan their own learning program. They have to plan. When you are supposed to sleep, when you are supposed to chat with your friends, when you are supposed to read, when you are supposed to take your breakfast and dinner and lunch, blah blah blah. So you have to have your plan and learn by and this assume responsibility for what they do in the classroom. Okay, and they can also plan that what they will do in the classroom. কি মোবাইল দেখবেন না বন্ধুকে একটু আবার আপনি কি কোন প্রশ্নগুলো করবেন, আবার কিভাবে প্রশ্ন করবেন. Okay, so you have to learn at first time. They have to have a plan for learning and what he or she is supposed to do it in the classroom. Learners monitor and evaluate their own progress. That is called self-judgment. You have to understand the progress. এই কোর্সে ভর্তি হওয়ার আগে আপনার কি ছিল আর এই কোর্স শেষে আপনার কি প্রোগ্রেস বা ইন দ্য মিডল কতটা প্রোগ্রেস হলো, and for this reason in many ways, and that is the result of your mid semester examination in our country. That is be evaluated. That means after 4 class, in the 5th class you have to sit for a mid-term examination. In the mid-term examination we will evaluate. But in case of learners' perspectives, they have to understand that what progress they have done, and they have to evaluate their learning progress. Learner are the members of a group and learn by interacting with others. That I have said. That is co-study. Co-study. Okay, so learner, there is a group. There are 40, 50 students in this class. You are in a group. So how you